Welcome on in, everybody. I know it's been a while since I've uploaded a video, and, well, I am back now, and I'm going to be playing quite a lot in this patch. There's a few good reasons for it, but yeah, let's get right into it. Quite a few changes have come with this patch. Of course, they added the new seasons, which for me is not really a big deal, but I think it's a great mechanic for maybe players that are coming back to help catch them up, or if someone's just starting the game, they want to progress a little bit faster. There's always that argument of whether it's pay to win or not. I don't really think the advantage that having the paid seasons pass gives you is that big a deal, but hey, to each their own. But that's not what I wanted to talk about. That's not the reason why I've been playing New World again. The reason I've been playing is because the combat changes have finally come with Season 1. And these changes have had a huge impact on PvP, especially things like OPR. The first thing that I noticed this patch is that I am not constantly getting sniped by muskets halfway across the map in every single OPR that I do. I mean, the amount of times that I died because someone was shooting me that I couldn't see, I think maybe one time in 5 or 6 games of OPR today. So I am very, very happy with that change. Now, the change to Musket, I'm not entirely sure that that's a great change for the weapon. I feel like you can still make the weapon work. I did fight some players that were using Musket, and they were still able to be very scary and aggressive with it, but it was only at closer range. And I feel like Musket's kind of in a weird spot right now because it is only really going to be more effective at closer range now. However, it's not a great close range weapon. I think the changes that they made aren't perfect. I think Amazon might have to go maybe a different route with balancing the musket, but the end result of there not being constant snipes is probably the best thing about this patch for me, because I can actually enjoy PvP again. Now, I myself have not played much musket at all in PvP, but I'm very curious to see what people who use the musket or someone who wants to use the musket is going to do with it now, and where the balance for musket will go from here. Now, moving on to the next big thing, gear sets. This is something that I didn't really think would be the biggest deal for me because I mostly just wear PvP gear and then luck gear on my Iron Man to go loot chests. I don't even have the harvesting gear on that guy. However, the gear sets are insanely useful. Oh my god, especially in something like open world. I run into a couple flag players and right away I can just swap my gear instantly, use my buffs, and within a few seconds I can actually just fight these guys. Now, of course, if they engaged in combat with me earlier, I wouldn't be able to do it while in combat, but at least if you see somebody coming, you have a moment to actually gear out of your luck stuff and put proper PvP gear on. And the application of these gear sets is not just for PvP. Of course, you can put different kinds of gear sets together. Sets for crafting, sets for gathering, sets for luck, sets for dungeons, all kinds of different stuff. The downside of the gear sets is that you do have to pay $5 for an additional slot. You do get one free additional slot when you finish level 100 of the free Seasons Pass as well. So technically, if you play a lot, you should have 3 slots without having to pay anything for them. The amount of QOL that these gear sets give is incredible, so I think it does kind of suck that they've locked it behind a paywall like this. It's a quality of life change. I don't think they should put it behind a paywall, and I think they're just trying to look for ways to monetize their game. And I understand that. They have to be a company, they have to make money, but I don't love that the quality of life change is the one that is locked behind that paywall. And last but not least, let's talk about PvP balance this patch. I feel like balance is not bad. I'm sure that something is going to feel really strong. Blunderbuss in particular, I think, is a weapon that we got to keep our eyes on coming into this patch. But when I was in PvP, I didn't really run into anything where I was like, damn, I don't know how I'm going to fight this. Even bows feel better to fight. Of course, bow got some nerfs and fire staff got some buffs, and I like using a fire staff, so yeah. And then Fire Staff. Fire Staff isn't better than it was before, but it's also not worse. Kind of interesting changes to the Fire Staff. I like the changes because I feel like the weapon kind of flows a little bit better now and makes a little bit more sense than it used to, especially attaching the unique burn of Smolder to all the different abilities and giving you more options to put those burns on opponents. It's nice for Fire Staff, but the Fire Staff skills themselves, some of them got buffs, some of them got nerfs. Net, I don't think Fire Staff feels better or worse than it did last patch. as someone who's played a lot of Fire Staff, it feels kind of the same. I see a lot of people using Fire Staff because it got all those changes, but it's not like half of the OPR is using Fire Staff like back when Greatsword first came out, so we'll see how it goes. We'll see what people come up with, of course, as people play new builds and try new things. A new meta could emerge. But all in all, guys, this patch and the first day coming back to play it, really, really good. OPR, so much better than it used to be. I would highly recommend, if you liked PvP in this game, and you liked OPR, and you hated getting sniped, that you check it out again and give it a try, man. It's a lot more fun than it used to be. Anyhow, I'm going to be streaming a lot with this new patch, so hopefully you guys can catch me live on Twitch. Check out my website if you want to see written guides to my builds. I'll be sharing this Fire Staff build with you guys very soon. We are sponsored by ExpressVPN. There's a link down below if you guys want to get a deal on your first purchase. And last but not least, a massive thank you to all of my patrons on Patreon for supporting the show. Thank you everybody just for tuning in and watching. I'm going to do my best to put out a lot more content for you guys, especially since PvP is a lot more fun now. I'm pretty excited to be trying some new builds as well, so look forward to more. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I hope to see you next time.